rhan yn ein nathliad diwrnod gwisgo coch eleni.
Hello and thank you for taking part in Show Racism the Red Card's WRD Day celebration this year.
In this short video, you'll be hearing from some of our Show Racism the Red Card young ambassadors. We'll be telling you all about who Show Racism the Red Card are,
How it all started and why Show Racism the Red Card was set up in the first place.
Some of the work that is taking place across schools and in the community.
You'll be hearing direct from us. Disgyblion o Ysgol y Creuddyn, pupils from Ysgol y Creuddyn, Conway.
Ysgol Eirys by Colwyn.
Ysgol Pen-y-Bryn, Colwyn Bay.
And Ysgol Uwchradd Bededen Ynys Môn.
Talking about some of the pioneering work of the Leaders of Now project.
Look at how you and your school can be involved in spreading a message of anti-racism.
And we hope this video today will inspire you to take action too.
Change hearts, change minds, change lives. Newid calonau, newid mytholiau, newid bywydau.
Gyntaf nawn ni cymryd golwg y lle mi aeth hyn gyd dechrau. First, let's take a look at where it all started. Show Racism the Red Card was set up by Shaka Hizzler, a famous footballer and brilliant goalie. He played for Newcastle in the 90s.
Shaka experienced racism on and off the pitch and wanted to do something to spread a message of anti-racism and stop this kind of thing from happening.
So, in 1996, Shaka set up Show Racism the Red Card, a charity which grew to be the largest anti-racism education charity in the UK.
Show Racism the Red Card works with anybody and everybody who wants to know more about anti-racism, from pupils to teachers to sports clubs.
From theatres to youth clubs to lawyers.
From the police to prisons to healthcare.
And everything in between. Show Racism the Red Card has educated over 1 million people so far. That means there are at least 1 million adults and young people who have learned what racism looks like and how to challenge it.
Sut mae hiliaeth yn edrych fel? So what does racism look like? Well, that's a complicated question. Racism can come in many different forms. Let's start with a simple definition. Racism is treating someone differently or unfairly because of
Ein lliwcrwydd, their skin colour.
Crefydd, religion. Cenedlaethroedd, lle mae rhywun yn dod o. Nationality, where somebody comes from.
Neu ddiwylliant, hanes a traddodiad rhyw, or culture, someone's history and traditions.
That.
Their skin colour.
Religion. Nationality, where somebody is from.
Or culture, someone's history and traditions.
That means if you see, hear or experience discrimination, that's someone being treated badly or unfairly. Because of any one of those things, you can challenge it and you can report it. In fact, challenging racism is everybody's responsibility. So it's important that we can all recognise racism in our schools and communities so we can all challenge it when we come across it.
But how can we challenge it?
It can be hard to challenge racism, especially if we see or hear something racist from our older people in school.
Or maybe a friend has made a joke that just isn't okay.
Or maybe something happens outside of school and it isn't safe to get involved.
That's where our Challenging Racism kit comes in.
Let's say someone you know, maybe a friend or family member, uses an inappropriate word to describe someone.
Perhaps they don't know what is appropriate to say. You can repeat what they said back to them.
And just replace the word they used with an appropriate word.
You haven't made a big deal out of it and you've gently provided the correct information. Job done.
What if someone tells a racist joke? Questioning them is a really good idea. Have you ever noticed that if you ask someone to explain their joke, it just isn't funny anymore?
It might also make that person realise that actually that joke just isn't funny and is based on racist ideas. Informing somebody is pretty straightforward. Offer a different point of view by giving them the correct information.
Try starting your sentence with "Did you know that?" or "It's interesting that."
Direct challenge. If you're confident and it's safe to do so, you can call that person out.
That's not okay. I heard that and it was racist.
Indirect challenge is just a fancy way of saying reporting racism. In school, that can be any member of staff.
A teacher. Teaching assistant. A receptionist.
A cleaner.
Any adult who works in your school.
Outside of school, this might mean reporting it to an adult you trust or directly to the police.
And teachers and school staff, if a pupil reports racism to you, you must take it seriously. That means even if you don't think it's racist, you have to investigate the incident.
Finally, you can withdraw if it's not safe or you are not comfortable to do so, in that very moment, keep yourself safe and do not get involved.
But it's really important that you follow this up by reporting it as soon as you can.
So we've covered what we mean by racism and looked at how to challenge some more obvious examples, but racism can take many forms.
Racism isn't just saying racist things to one another. Sometimes people's prejudices, negative things people might think about other people based on their skin colour, religion, nationality or culture can make us treat some people differently.
We see racism in products. When you think of ballet shoes, what colour comes to mind? Maybe pink or peach? This is because ballet shoes are supposed to match a person's skin tone. So what about people with black or brown skin? Well, until a few years ago, companies didn't make ballet shoes in black or brown skin tones. This could send out a message to anyone with black or brown skin that this sport isn't for them, as the equipment they needed to take part was only for people with white skin. Ballet dancers with black or brown skin would have to pancake their shoes with makeup to make them match their skin tone, just so they could take part. This process could take up to 2 hours each time. This only changed recently, when ballet shoe companies finally started making shoes for dancers with black or brown skin.
Things can happen which are unfair because of the way society is set up. For example, there might be policies in schools or workplaces which discriminate against people perhaps without even meaning to.
But did you know you could change this?
Policies are just one of the things last year's leaders have now looked at.
We are Ysgolarius.
And we are Ysgol Bededon. And we are Show Racism the Red Cards Arweinwyr heddiw,
leaders of now. Last year, thanks to WRD funding, Show Racism the Red Card ran a pilot programme working with 5 schools in North Wales.
The aim of the project was for us, the pupils, to feel empowered to be actively anti-racist.
To challenge racism in our own settings.
To give us a voice with senior leaders in our school.
And to have deep ongoing conversations about racism and anti-racism.
Each of the Leaders Now groups conducted research in their own schools which helped guide us towards some focused anti-racism work.
This means that the anti-racism work that each group carried out varied widely. Here are just some of the things the Leaders have now achieved.
We examined our school's policies to make sure that our school's stances against racism were robust.
We looked at barriers to reporting racist incidents, with one school designing QR codes which could be scanned in private, taking you to a form to report racist incidents directly to the school safeguarding lead.
Some Leaders of Now provide drop-in sessions for pupils who want to know more about racism or simply want to talk.
We looked at our displays at the school. Could every pupil see themselves represented across the departments?
One of the school groups even created a brand new social responsibility module with Key Stage 3 and helped teachers to design the content for these new lessons.
We've seen the design of murals, the creation of multi-faith prayer rooms, entire festivals led by young people to celebrate all cultures in their school.
And some of the Leaders of Now have presented to school staff, to governors, and even to other schools, with recommendations from the finding from our research into what racism looks like in our schools.
The work we've all done has covered many forms of racism, from direct to indirect to microaggressions to institutional racism.
If you are interested in learning more about different kinds of racism, visit our Voices platform at voices.theredcard.org to watch short, sharp videos answering your questions about racism.
Change hearts, change minds, change lives.
Have any of you done something similar in your schools? Perhaps you've been inspired to take action by some of the things you've heard. Let us know. Just use the tag @TheRedCardWales on your socials.
Tell us to take a look at how everyone can get involved and show their support for Show Racism the Red Card with our annual creative competition.
I've seen today is phenomenal young people doing really creative things to show and express their antagonism against racism, which is really great. More importantly, the schools getting behind it, because obviously the kids can't get behind something this big. The schools have to support it. It's the fact that you're, alongside the curriculum and the 6 values is really, really creative way of approaching it, because you're being more inclusive and bringing everyone who has a different perspective, so a science and technology perspective, a mathematical one. And racism is in everything, isn't it? It's not just in art.
Oh my goodness, I was so nervous, but it was so exciting. It was fabulous. I wanted to cry on stage, but I couldn't do that to myself. The overall winner, she was amazing.
So 3 years ago, my sister won the same competition, and she went overall too. And I thought I'd carry on her legacy and try and win to, kind of make it go in the family, I guess. I think that young people get to participate in this because if they start to understand and realise what's going on, then maybe the next generation will be even better.
If you would like to be part of our creative competition in 2024, ask your teachers to visit the Show Racism in Red Card website to receive a pack.
There are categories for everyone to get involved in, whether you're a budding writer,
Singer, historian, scientist,
or something in between.
Check it out and make sure you've got your entries in by Monday the 4th of March 2024. And here's an exclusive for you.
Many of you know that the Summer Olympics and Paralympics are taking place in 2024.
Show Racism, the Red Cards are creating an educational pack based around games full of exciting anti-racism lessons, plans and activities to get involved in.
This will be free for schools, so keep an eye out on theredcard.org for more details as they're released, or
register your interest early by emailing events@theredcardwales.org.
For now, thank you for taking part and supporting Show Racism the Red Card Wear Red Day 2023.
Diolch am cymryd rhan ac yn cefnogi Diwrnod Gwisgo Coch 2023. Dangos y Cerdyn Coch I Hiliaeth.
And we hope to see you all taking part in our creative competition and next year's Wear Red Day.
And don't forget to let us know if you've been inspired today. Follow us at the Red Card Wales. And don't forget to use the hashtag. Peidiwch ag anghofio'r hashnod WRD 2023.
Newid colonnau, newid meddyliau, newid bywydau.